Feed a Loon. I'm Chris.
And I'm Wesley.
My extra juicy loon.
Yes.
He's a juicy loon.
Yes, today I'm very juicy.
You are. You're juicier than juicy fruit.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, we're having so much fun.
Yeah.
So we are super excited because we are doing the quintessential juicy dish. It's one of those that just makes you want to just come home and hug your family.
Yes.
And
it's so good. And it's easy.
It's easy. Let's tell them. It's our
perfect roast chicken.
Yay!
I love it. It really is easy. I could do it by myself.
But you probably shouldn't. Yes, you could. And it really is easy, and we're going to show you the tips and the tricks to make it succulent and fabulous. And it is just one of those dishes. It's one of, lots of cuisines. Lots of cuisines have a kind of roast chicken that they do, and the French have a beautiful one. I think ours version is sort of French, sort of American.
Just like your everyday,
mostly Loon.
Gather your family around the table, chicken.
That's right. Oh, it's so good.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so we've got, this is a whole chicken. So you're gonna wanna start with a whole chicken. A lot of times in the supermarkets, you can find air chilled. We love air chilled.
Yes.
It just means they're nice and dried, and
they're juicier.
They're super moist. Okay, so now this is about a 4 pound. So we are gonna
it's a little thing.
Do anything from you're used to turkeys. So anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 pounds it's gonna change the cooking time. So this is a 4 pounder. So this is gonna take probably 90 minutes, I'm going to say. But you're going to need one of these instant read thermometers.
Yes.
Because you want to make sure your chicken is thoroughly
you can
cooked.
Stick it in there with this
cooked.
one. Sorry, I keep
that's
interrupting.
an instant read. That's one of those that you can put in the bird and then close the door, and you can keep reading it from the outdoor. I love that. And then that's okay.
No, this is the one where you can close the door and read it outside.
Okay, I didn't
leave this outside the oven.
And then
this one, you open the door and then you just stick it in.
You stick it right in,
and then close it again because you don't want to lose all that heat.
That's right. And I have links to these but they're really important. You have links to them in the blog post. Okay, so now we've got this beautiful bird that's just begging to be roasted.
Yes.
Okay, so now this little plastic thing right here.
Don't forget to pull that out.
Don't pull these out. That's happened probably to many cooks. Not me.
Oh, please.
Anyway, these are the giblets. There's a liver, there's a heart, there's
all
a
that good
neck,
stuff.
there's gizzards. You can boil these and make incredible chicken stock. It's wonderful. I do that. Don't do that with the liver. Keep the liver. You can cook with the liver. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time. Okay, so that leaves this beautiful cat. Now, my hands are clean, and I'm going to be handling the bird.
I'm not, so I'm going to be doing the work.
No touchy bird, Loon. So he's not going to be touching. I'm going to be touching, and then I'm going to go straight to the sink. So make sure when you're handling the bird, you don't then go and lick your fingers.
Wash your hands before you do anything else.
Don't open the refrigerator because you don't want to get bacteria.
Yes.
Okay, so now this is so easy. So I guess we're going to just do this.
Yeah.
So now so there's a cavity in here. Oh, let me another thing that's easy to do. This is the breast side right here. It's easy. You think of a turkey, and it's really easy to tell which is the breast side. On a whole chicken, it's not quite as easy. I mean, here you see the back of the fly away. But just make sure you're working.
Yes, breast side up.
Breast side up is what we want. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to the Loon is going to.
I'm going to liberally salt the inside.
Yeah, we want to salt the inside. And a
little pepper.
A little bit of pepper. Okay. So now that's good. Okay, you've done that. So now we're going to put some aromatics in here. I've got some a lemon wedge. Normally, if this was a turkey, I could fit like 4 of these and onions and all in there, but I can't.
That's all right. Stuff that thing.
Stuff that baby. And then we've got some fresh rosemary. This rosemary is going to be repeated throughout this recipe. And then we've got some fresh thyme.
Yes.
I've always got thyme on my hands.
Okay. So he's got the inside. Now I'm going to prepare the outside that you rub all over the outside of the bird.
This is a compound butter.
So this is, that's butter, but I don't know how much.
That's a stick. That's 8 tablespoons of unsalted butter.
A stick of butter. And now we have a teaspoon each of fresh thyme and fresh rosemary.
Now, this is going to go on the exterior of this, and we've got our oven really nice piping hot. So what I would recommend is giving this and that right there
a really good chop. This is garlic. This is 3 cloves minced garlic.
That's right. And so make sure they're very, very minced because you want to. If they're big chunks, then they'll tend to burn and they get that acrid taste.
Yes.
You don't want that. Okay.
And then a teaspoon of smoked paprika.
Half a teaspoon. That's
half a teaspoon. Why don't we throw a teaspoon in there?
Well, because it would be overpowering. So he's going to
just mix it all up.
That together. Oh, it's important. You want to set your butter out at least 2 hours in advance or overnight, so it's nice and soft.
You want something some soft butter.
Let's make some butter soft, shall we?
Now he gets to have fun and get messy.
I know. I'm the chosen one to be messy.
There you go.
Okay, so now, thanks, Loon. Boy, you're really great there. So now I'm going to give the bird a massage, and like if you've ever been to a good masseuse, they usually have some sort of cream to. So this is always the kind of the weird part, like you get intimate with your.
There's nothing weird about it.
Well, I know. I guess not. I just feel like I should name this bird or something. Okay, so now you want to just rub this in. You may not use all of the butter compound, but I think if you're really liberal with applying it, which
just
why
use
wouldn't
it
you be?
all.
Look at my hands.
The more butter, the better, I always say.
Well,
you know what? I'm going to make a T-shirt.
That should
More
be,
butter, the better.
That should be the name of your memoir. The Life and Times of Wesley Loon. Okay, so now what have we got there?
We've got a nice big roasting pan, and I'm going to fill it with some chicken stock.
Well, okay, that's a cup. You just want to keep some liquid in the bottom. You're not going to fill
all of it.
Yeah, a cup is good. Depends on the size of your roasting pan, but you just want to let because it's going to catch these drippings as they drip.
And then we're going to make some pan gravy.
And then we're going to make like a gravy, a sauce that's just going to be heavenly. This is so easy. That's really all there is to it. Oh no, now I need you to salt and pepper the top.
Oh, sure, yep.
So we're just we want this salt. I mean, we want this skin to get nice and crackly.
Yes.
And it needs a little layer of salt to do that. Okay.
And pepper. Can I do pepper?
Yes, you can. Please do.
Let's do some more salt.
Look how messy my hands are. Okay. Could you imagine? Like, hi, nice to meet you. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Now I'm just going to transfer this over there. It's so much fun in there. It's very slippery. Okay. So now
stick that in there further. Stick all that stuff in there. There you go.
All right.
There you go. Now you can also tuck in the wings if you wanted to, but we're not going to do that because it's just fine. And you can also tie the legs if you wanted to.
You can truss those legs together. We do that a lot, but we chose not to do it this time. You don't
just
have
to save time for y'all.
Okay, so now I have to I usually have oven mitts on, but now I have a layer of butter. So there's one other thing. Show them this. You don't have to do this, but it really makes the bird even more succulent if you baste as you go, and keep an eye on the liquid because you don't. It's a hot oven, so it's gonna start to evaporate a little bit, and you may need to add a little bit more.
So go ahead.
No, I'm just gonna say real quick. We're gonna let this go for 20 minutes at
450.
450, and then we're gonna lower it down to just 400, and then that's when we're gonna probably go. If it's a 3-pounder, say 60 minutes.
60 minutes.
If it's a 7-pounder, it's probably gonna go another 2 hours.
You want to get to 165 at least. That's
right.
In the thickest part of the bird.
That's right. Loon knows what he's talking about. Okay. All right.
You wash your hands. I'm going to put this in here.
And then we're going to see you on the flip side. Okay, well, and just like that, we have the perfect
roast chicken.
I said turkey. Because it's
listen here, turkey. This is a chicken.
I know it's exciting as a turkey, but it's so much easier.
Look at how
Normally,
gorgeous.
I'm like giving you the big reveal, and we're showing you all this stuff. But I mean, it's so easy. So
look at that. Isn't
that's
that cute?
Beautiful. That is a work of art.
Isn't my plating really cute?
It's really stunning. So let me tell you.
Well, before you start talking about what you're going to do, I'm going to start cutting this for us.
Okay. While he's carving that, I'm going to tell you how we got to the. There's just a few more steps that we did when we last spoke.
Yes.
So we got that in the oven, and then what you want to do, a lot of ovens, it doesn't circulate the heat perfectly. So what I do is just sometimes the back of the oven has more heat than the front of the oven. You know your oven is better than anybody does. So I just turn my pan around just to get even distribution, and then you want to baste. Now you don't have to baste, but if you have one of those little basters, by all means use it. It just helps make the skin be crispy and the meat be juicy. You could also use a spoon to just spoon it over the top. Don't be opening your oven door every 5 minutes because then heat is escaping and you're defeating the purpose. But you're going to want to do that. Say every 20 to 30 minutes you want to baste. Okay? So then after 20 minutes, we reduce the heat from 450 to 400. And then I set my timer for 60 minutes. I knew it was probably going to take a little longer than that, but I thought, let's see, 60 minutes. So Help me here, Loon.
Yeah.
Remember, so I continue to baste, and you're going to see.
Did
now,
you cover it?
If it starts to brown too much, it shouldn't too much. You want to get it that nice golden color on the top. But if you feel like it's getting too brown, just get a piece of foil and tint it, and then that'll stop the browning on top. It'll continue to cook. Okay. So we did that. We did that with about probably 15 minutes left to go. And so then once we reached a beautiful temperature of like 167, 165. Then it's ready to come out, and it will continue to cook for probably another 5 degrees even after you take it out. You're going to want, then you're going to bring it, and I just use a couple of big old forks to remove that rack and put it over.
Why did you do that? Because you want to get at that juice?
I want to get that sauce, that juice, because we are going to make some sauce, and it does need to. Those juices need to sort of settle into the meat, so the roast needs to, or the chicken needs to rest for at least 10 minutes. Okay, so now let's make some gravy or some sauce. Look at this.
Let's do it.
This is beautiful.
That's gorgeous gravy.
Thank you. So
Good gravy.
Good gravy. That's delicious. So it's got some wonderful pan drippings. We don't need all of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift my pan up, and I'm going to pour off really all, but just eyeball it. About 2 to 3 tablespoons is all you need. And then we're going to bring it over to the stove, and we're going to turn on our burners, and then we're going to put that over the heat, and we're going to cook it right in the pan. And what we do is we add a 1/4 cup of good quality white wine, 3/4 a cup of chicken broth or chicken stock, and then you're just going to let that cook until it starts to come to a simmer. It doesn't have to cook a real long time. It's just going to cook off that alcohol from the wine and just marry those flavors. And then what we're going to do is, when it's almost done, after it's been simmering for about a minute or two, we're going to hit it with a little salt and pepper, and then you have got this most incredible gravy. So what I do is I just get a little strainer. You can, when you're doing that, you do a thing called deglazing, which is you're getting any kind of bits that stuck to the bottom off of the bottom. Those are good. And just by the sheer act of doing that, you're adding a lot of flavor to the gravy. But I don't want my gravy too lumpy with stuff in it, so I strain it into that. If you like the lumps, then don't strain it. Okay. All right, my goodness. So I should also say, after that was sitting there for a little while, then I got a pair of tongs and I removed the aromatics and the things that we put into the cavity to add to the flavor. That was the lemons, the thyme, the rosemary, remember? And then you just discard that. Okay, how are you doing here?
I have demolished.
You've really, really kind of demolished it. Okay.
That's okay. We've got some. Of course, we would normally have some potatoes and some green beans, but that's okay.
Okay, well that's
tonight we're on a diet.
Anyway, this is a smaller bird, so this beautifully feeds 2 people. Although the way the loon cut this, you would never know that. 2 very full people.
I'm sorry. Okay. I really want to eat all the skin.
Okay,
is what I want to do.
Okay, now we're just going to put a little of this gravy.
Yes.
I can't believe I wanted to make mashed potatoes and green beans, and he said, "Nah,
that's okay. That's okay. I want to get straight to the good part.
Well.
Here, make sure.
Oh, and you didn't give us a knife.
Oh, here's that.
Okay.
Here's a fork. All right, people, I'm going in.
So I was going to say this feeds 2 to 3 people beautifully. If you go with a larger bird, you're going to have 4 to 6. And in the moment, we're going to hear what the loon has to say. I think he's too busy eating. Is it? It's heavenly. I mean, it really is. There's nothing better than a roast.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it. I love it, love it. I could taste the rosemary and the thyme, and that butter just made it so super juicy.
So tender.
I love that. And that gravy.
Yeah.
It's all about the gravy, folks.
Yeah,
it's all about the gravy.
It is gravy on top.
I'm going to eat this whole thing. This is 100% Loon approved.
Yes!
It's so good.
Oh my gosh, I can hardly wait to eat it. This is just heavenly.
I said I wasn't going to eat any skin.
Well, it's like, that is so amazing.
Oh, you guys.
Oh, I wish we had a knife, but.
Sorry.
Oh boy. Well.
Here.
No, that's okay. Oh, this is incredible. It's just
Y'all, it is so good. It is so good.
So heartwarming.
Isn't
and
it
so
great?
delicious. And it's the perfect. It's such an elegant.
It was.
Presentation it was until you got a hold of it. And then, but you can make this on a weeknight, and it's so just like.
It's so good.
It's so great.
You can get this recipe on howtofeedaloon.com. Y'all, really, you need to make it. It's
and
so
many
easy.
more. And be sure to go to our social media and like us and share and do all of that wonderful thing and things. And if there's anything that's going to bring us all together and love each other,
it's food.
It's food, and a roast chicken is a good place to start. Why did the chicken cross the road? because he heard there was eating roast chicken. No, I don't think that would work. I didn't know where that joke
I
was
was
going.
totally waiting for that, like the world's oldest joke, and you couldn't think of the ending.
I know, it's because I'm the world's oldest
Bye, everybody.
joke teller. Bye, everybody. We love you. This is so good.
Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Now, if you want to be a part of the Loon fun, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget to hit that little bell icon so you won't miss a single recipe.
That's right. Oh, and speaking of recipes, if you want another amazing recipe like this, then just click right here.
Yeah, click.
Click.
Subscribe.
It's so much fun.